Talk. I think there are going to be many people watching this piece who identify either with the romantic partner or with our lead. And I think that is the brilliant part of this piece, is that it's done in a really empathetic way, and it's done in a way that you can really sit with them and understand both sides, but you also feel that visceral tension of the withholding and what that does to people in terms of not getting to connect, not getting to communicate. And that's where things break down. I think it's a really important piece, this idea of the male withholding. I mean, this can happen with women as well, but typically in our culture, that masculine attempt to suppress, to avoid communicating their feelings, to avoid the deep well to dip into. And I was really impressed by the performances. They felt very honest. I could feel that nuance and I could feel that turmoil. So it also left us with this opportunity of hope that there's a different way to connect. And I really appreciated that. Also, really beautifully shot, some inventive angles. I really liked the sequence of the cleaning up and that passage of time. So throughout, it was just very thoughtfully done.
I really like talk. As a man, I identify with it. Of like not wanting to talk about it, coping through sports, laying on the couch watching LeBron highlights. That was too real. Especially like when you're like not okay emotionally. I think this captured a issue that especially black men for sure like deal with in a really clear way, in a way that like I think it shows what we a lot of us feel in ways that we can't always express, I guess. Um, I thought it was really well done. I thought it was needed and said some powerful stuff. So great job.
This film Talk is about the importance of communication in relationships. This couple is having a really hard time because he doesn't talk to her and open up, and consequently, doesn't listen either. But when he sees that happening in another couple, he sees the error and tries to rectify it. I think it's a great idea, and the message is so important. And I think the actress did a great job playing with the frustration of not being heard and having this one-sided conversation. I think some of the effects were cool with that, when she would try to talk, or he was trying to explain what her problem was to his friend, and the audio would cut out because it's unspoken. And I think although the storyline was pretty simple, it helped us focus on the main point that they were trying to make, and it was very clear.
In the short film, The Talk, it is about this turning point or end of a relationship. We get to see this meet cute, the beginnings of the relationship blooming into its fruition, but then it cuts to the exact turning point of what could be what makes the relationship formidable and strong, or the one that just breaks underneath you and crumbles, and it goes from this very passionate red scene. Red represents that passion, that love, that embraceful warmthness, and then it turns into this sterile white room. And just in the color alone, we get to see that striking point of it shifting and that emotional turmoil that's unfolding in front of us. And we see that both characters are conflicted and feel remorseful. And so we get the ending that we get of them having the talk, right? Which is what the title of the film is, it's what it's leading up to, and we don't necessarily have to see the talk happen to know that there's still a future for these two.